for it. Ready for it, oh, I'm going to slow down a little bit this time. And I'm going to get Tony to do a lovely ballad about a young man whose only crime was to go to play Gaelic football. And as he crossed the checkpoint in Auckland, he was murdered by a British soldier. It's a lovely ballad written by Jerry Cunningham called The Ballad of Aidan McAnespy.
Was on a Sunday evening, the sun shone in the sky, as he walked on his way to Killingrand, thinking he was going to die. As he crossed the checkpoint, the sound of gunfire came. The news pursued the border child, Aidan McAnespy is slain. For years he was a rascal, the forces of the crowd. As he went to work each morning from his native town, soldiers swore against him for reasons no one to say. And sure enough, they murdered him in cold blood and sunny day. Let's hear you sing. Oh, why did you do it? Have you nothing got to say? You say it was an accident or even a ricochet, but like Loch and Gibraltar, your lives are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McAnespy on his way to Killingrand. People heard the gunfire, they came from miles around. They saw that young man lying there, was dying on the ground. This flow of life was ebbing fast, the people cried the dead. That bullet was far too deep, it passed right through his chest. Everybody in the Wolf Tone Bar. Oh, why did you do it? Have you nothing got to say? You say it was an accident or even a ricochet, but like Loch and Gibraltar, your lives are well renowned. You murdered Aidan McAnespy on his way to Killingrand. Aidan's life had ended. It was time for Judgment Day. And a soldier, he jumped from a tower, and the bastard, he slipped away. Let's curse on you, England, this cruelty did on. And God will have your final say, your Judgment Day. Everybody! Oh, why did you to it? Have you not the guts to say? You say it was an accident, or even a ricochet. Let's take a look on Gibraltar. Your lies are well renowned. You murdered a Gillespie on his way to giving ground. They say it was an accident, the greatest crime of all. His broken-hearted family was the worst that can be found. The cross it marks the lonely spot where Aiden was shot down as he walked a Sunday evening on his way to Gaiety Ground. Let's hear you sing. Oh, why did you do it? Have you not the guts to say? You say it was an accident.
Say it was an accident, or even a ricochet.
Your eyes are well renowned. You murdered Ed McGillespie on his way to Gaiety Ground. Yes, you murdered young Ed McGillespie on his way to the Gaiety Ground.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, did we ever find out why they shot Eddie McInnesby, apart from being Irish? I think it was more than a case of in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was targeted because he dared to have a belief and a courage to stand up for those beliefs and stand shoulder to shoulder with others. And solidarity with your fellow brothers and sisters. God bless Eddie McInnesby. God bless the hunger strikers who stood against the biggest totalitarian, fascist, Freemasonic state the world has ever known. That is the United Kingdom. I would put Britain even worse than the great evil friends over in the US of A. Not the people, but the military junta, the same military junta of Britain and America. Pax Americana, Pax Britannia. And then just because they were Irish and they decided to stand up for themselves, they were deemed as terrorists, eh? When the biggest terrorists were looking down their guns. Here's a wee tune. We finally loaded another one from Parrot. So we're going to put this one on and we're going to get tuned back in. Got a few wee calls, the numbers are open. It's a late night show. God willing, soon we're going to be doing some daytime shows also. Daytime shows coming up also. Tell 10 to tell 10 or just retweet to retweet. It's Crackpot McDougall here. We're on all the way through it. We're providing a service just for you. For the Celtic fans out there, we're providing this live exclusive service. You don't need to do anything. You don't even need to retweet. You can retweet if you want to. Tell 10 to tell 10. Turn off your TV and do something less crazy instead. Don't be brainwashed by the mainstream media. They're out there, part of the Rothschild banking cabal, out there to brainwash you into just basically a brain-dead atom. A brain-dead atom, just another little cog in the machine to consume, to not have a fellow thought, not have a thought for your fellow brothers and sisters who might be making this worthless piece of plastic that you continue buying. Why back and keep backing a system that forever brings injustice to the planet? Bring the system down. Back your brother and sister in Bangladesh, in China. They're your brother and sister too. Don't listen to the media. The little person in Afghanistan, Pakistan, they're our brothers and sisters. There's no food banks in Afghanistan tonight. There's just daisy cutter bombs and dust. People die, actually, children die children die freezing to death in Afghanistan, or will die freezing to death in Afghanistan this winter. And the biggest totalitarian fascist state brings its terrorist ways still on a nightly basis to Afghanistan. Bombed it to the Stone Age with their daisy cutter bombs and their pursuit of bin Laden to drive out the Taliban. A Taliban who they now sit holding hands, shaking hands and doing deals with. An Al-Qaeda who they back in Syria. An Al-Qaeda who they backed in Libya. Well, they were supposed to be our worst enemies. They became our best friends at the stroke of a pen. Let's back these nut jobs, they said. This is Britain, the biggest terrorist state in the history of terrorist states. That's Great Britain for you. For hundreds of years, walking into other people's countries, trampling on their rights, calling them terrorists when they decided to stand up for themselves. If a group of men or women or children stood against the biggest Freemasonic terrorist state, they themselves were called terrorists, but it's mere linguistics, mere semantics. Who cares what the biggest terrorist state says about you? Who cares when the facts are there right in front of everybody? They can lie all they want, but it'll never change how British slave masters took 30 million Africans to their death. How sitting in George Square they have statues, they have names of streets in the merchant city named after merchants, wealthy merchants, who took the wealth from all places across the illegal empire. Stolen wealth, stolen people. One of the reasons, well, there's many reasons, but like I'm sitting here opining all these years later, but if you look what happened with the immigrants from Ireland after the Great Hunger, if you look what happened, the immigrants that came to Glasgow at the time, this wealth that was being accumulated by these Glasgow merchants with their streets named all after them and statues in George Square, when they went acquiring this wealth, throwing Africans overboard in their ships, killing Indians,